Hi, I'm Dr. 𝗙cie Green. I'm a PhD clinical psychologist, psycho-oncologist, and accredited systems family therapist. I'm also the lead psychotherapist at the clinic Buchinger-Wilhelmi in Überlingen for the past 10 years. My team offers talking therapy and body-oriented approaches. When I talk about leading a lighter life, what do I mean? Generally, we think of the mind and the body as separate entities. We've even created two separate scientific disciplines of medicine and psychology that generally only overlap in the area of psychiatry and psychosomatic medicine, and more recently, psychoneuroimmunology. However, this is an unnecessarily limiting and actually inaccurate view of human health. In the Buchinger-Wilhelmi clinics, we approach human health and well-being from a holistic angle. That means we recognize that the mind and body intimately influence each other and are in actuality inseparable. Taking this approach a step further, this means that bodily states reflect inner emotional processes. In this way, physical weight may be viewed as possibly reflecting emotional processes or even psychological burdens. For example, under certain circumstances, excess physical weight can take on a psychological role of, for example, protective shield. An example of this would be cases in which a man seeks, for example, body presence. That would be a sign of strength or masculinity by simply being big. Meanwhile, the opposite also holds true. Emotional well-being is impacted also by your physical health. For example, when we are ill, we have less capacity for coping and can feel more easily overwhelmed. In the case of weight loss, we feel lighter physically and emotionally. A lighter life is therefore the positive result when we physically and emotionally unburden ourselves by maintaining the weight loss achieved during fasting, and specifically letting go of past resentment, self-reproach, feelings of guilt, and inviting in forgiveness, self-compassion, thereby increasing our inner peace. What are psychological aspects of weight loss? Physically, weight loss occurs when there's a negative energy balance between caloric intake and energy expenditure, either through bodily processes or exercise. During fasting, the body goes into ketosis and derives energy from fat reserves, which also results in weight loss. Physically being lighter leads to generally feeling lighter. Maintaining a weight loss long-term and not falling into a yo-yo requires lifestyle change. That includes choosing changes in nutrition, mindful eating, physical activity, and dealing with emotional needs and stress in healthy ways. Lifestyle change is a psychological issue because our behavior reflects our inner processes. If we want to change our lifestyle, we have to tweak our attitudes to change our behavior. Here are 5 simple steps towards a lighter life from a psychological point of view. First, set realistic goals. It's a simple case of reward-based learning. If it feels good, we do it more. If it doesn't, we stop. So avoiding frustration aids in perpetuating a new behavior. When we set realistic goals, we experience many small successes, which act to reinforce our new behavior. This is essential when trying to install new habits with regards to lifestyle. Be intrinsically motivated. Behaviors that are intrinsically motivated are done because the source comes from within, such as for fun, for passion, because there's a sense of purpose. We want to play a sport that we enjoy. We want to eat food that tastes good. We want to work hard on a project that we find meaningful and fulfilling. This is not hard for us. Extrinsically motivated behaviors, on the other hand, are done to please others or avoid their displeasure, or because we feel we should do, ought to, have to. Even saying it like this makes it feel heavier and harder. These activities require large amounts of self-control and self-discipline to maintain. This is where we run into problems. Nobody can be 100% self-disciplined 100% of the time. Remember, we are aiming for a lighter life, not a harder one. Therefore, being intrinsically motivated is instrumental for lifestyle change. Third, identify with the new you. One way to increase intrinsic motivation is to identify with the new you and start living the life you're dreaming of right away instead of waiting to achieve a certain weight loss goal first. Who is this slimmer man or woman, and how does he or she plan the day or balance needs for nutrition, rest, and activity with work? What kinds of activities does she or he do at the weekend? What kinds of friends does she or he have that are compatible with a lighter life? How does she or he deal with emotional needs or cope with stress in healthier ways than turning to food, alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs to cope with difficult emotions? When you identify with the person you want to become and answer these questions from that point of view, it becomes obvious how many little changes it will need to get there. Also, by identifying with the new you, you strengthen your intrinsic motivation. Fourth, identify your emotional needs and fulfill these in appropriate ways. Uncomfortable emotions are part of a mechanism to motivate us to fulfill important emotional needs, for example, to alleviate stress or just reward ourselves for having made it through a long, hard day. Unfortunately, many of us have learned to substitute caring for these emotional needs with food or alcohol, for example. Not only does this behavior lead to consuming unnecessary calories, if I eat cake when I'm sad instead of seeking solace from a friend, my soul stays undernourished and I become vulnerable to what's known as emotional eating. Emotional eating and drinking is a major factor in weight gain. If you're having trouble coping with difficult emotions or stress, try using relaxation techniques and/or seek counseling from a mental health professional instead. Fifth, lighten your load mentally. Say goodbye to guilt, self-reproach, and resentment. Forgive yourself for your shortcomings and love yourself for who you are. And importantly, separate self-esteem from your weight. Weight may be a health issue for you, but self-esteem is about accepting yourself with your strengths and weaknesses as you do for friends. Again, uncovering deep-rooted negative core beliefs about yourself and the world may require the help of a therapist. Many of us consider this way of thinking normal, but it harms us when we belittle ourselves, and it often, again, leads to increased vulnerability to emotional eating or other compensatory behaviors, including alcohol or drug use. Just imagine how much lighter and more positive you will feel having a more empathetic and positive self-dialogue. Be as kind to yourself as you are to your friends instead. Take it one step at a time, and this brings us back to step number 1, set realistic goals. Don't expect too much of yourself at once. In summary, a lighter life is the positive result when we physically and emotionally unburden ourselves by maintaining the weight loss achieved during fasting through lifestyle change and specifically letting go of past resentment, self-reproach, feelings of guilt, and inviting in forgiveness, self-compassion, thereby increasing our inner peace. Maintaining lifestyle change requires choosing to change our nutrition, physical activity levels to include regular exercise and relaxation that we enjoy, fulfill emotional needs, and be kind and caring towards ourselves. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your likes and comments underneath this video. And if you're interested in other videos, check out our channel. Have a good day and see you next time.